Good evening. It's Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, 7 p.m., and I'll call to order the Ottawa City Commission meeting. Can I have the roll call, please?
Mayor Crowley.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore.
Present.
Commissioner Kaler. Present. Commissioner Graves.
Present.
Commissioner Clayton.
Present.
All right. I'd like to welcome everybody who's here in the audience and anybody else that's watching or listening on some form of media. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance tonight, followed by our invocation, which is by Reverend Dr. Stanley A. Smith from Bethany Chapel Baptist Church. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening to give you praise for all the living and loving kindness you have given us this day. You are the source of all of that which is good and perfect. You are the source of all of our blessings. Truly, you are worthy to be praised. We thank you for the opportunity to come together in this meeting. We ask your blessings in this meeting. Your Spirit will help guide and direct the meeting with wisdom, understanding, and harmony. We thank you for each leader and citizen in attendance tonight and that are willing to accomplish the work and goals tonight in the city of Ottawa. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
That'll move us on to our consent agenda, which includes the minutes from our April 18th study session, our April 20th regular meeting. It also includes appointments to city boards, the City Band Board, which will be Reagan Perry, to April of 2025, and our Airport Advisory Board, which will include Chad Kaler and Cal Lantis, to April 2025, and the agenda approval. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved. That'll move us on to our regular agenda, item 9.
Public comments.
I'm sorry. Do we have any public comments?
We do not have any tonight.
Thank you. That'll move us on to item 10, which is the declaration. At this time, I'd like to give the commissioners a chance to declare any conflict or communication they've had that might influence their ability to consider today's issues impartially. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 11.
Presentation of Kansas Municipal Utilities, KMU 2022 Safe City Award of Excellence.
This award is given to the KMU member city that best embraces that even one injury is too many and that all injuries are preventable. Ottawa was selected out of over 190 KMU member cities to receive this award in 2022. Brian Meek, Director of Energy Services of KMU, will present the award.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for having me. It's really an honor to be here today to present this award in front of the community for all the work that the city employees have been doing to help keep their employees safe. I just wanted to read a little bit about what this award really is about and what the criteria was, and I also want to let you guys know that this is the first time we've given away this award. So Ottawa has the distinct honor of being the first ever. So you will always have the first ever award for the Safe City Award. But this award will be given annually starting this year. And we have 8 criteria for this award. So it's not an easy award to achieve. And when we actually had our nominated cities, there were actually very few that qualified. So the city of Ottawa is really in an elite class when it comes to managing the safety of their employees, of your employees. So the 8 criteria are that you demonstrate a commitment to that safety is a core value. You have a program to positively reinforce good safety practices. You hold employee-led monthly safety committee meetings. You participate in regular safety training sessions. Your 3-year OSHA recordable injury rate, which is really a measure of serious injuries that occur, is in the top 25% of all municipal organizations, not just cities, but all municipal organizations in the state. You display a culture of proactive safety management. You complete regular safety inspections and resolve safety issues in a timely manner, and you conduct root cause analysis on all injuries. So I presented this award initially at our KMU annual conference last Thursday to Michelle Wapp and Brian Dimmerett if they want to come up. And I will read to you what I read during our award ceremony on Thursday night. For the past 3 years, the city of Ottawa has made strides to become the safest city in Kansas for its employees. Since 2018, the city has worked to reduce its workers' comp liabilities to 1/3 of its historic value, and their injury rates have been cut in half. The city holds safety committee meetings every month with representatives from every department, and understanding that in order to do a job safely, you must do it well, the city has embraced continual learning philosophy by participating in various leadership, technical, and safety training workshops and seminars. In the fall of this year, the city personnel will be hosting their annual safety fair. The safety fair has various city and county departments providing safety data and training for all city personnel. The city of Ottawa is also a candidate for the Department of Labor SHAPE Award this year. This award has only been awarded to 13 municipal organizations. It's my pleasure to present the 2022 and first ever KMU Safe City Award of Excellence to the city of Ottawa. And I present that to Michelle Wapp, the Human Performance Director, and Brian Dimmerett, a member of our Safety Committee.
Great.
You good? Oh, you want up here?
Oh, yeah. No.
All of us? No, bring it, yeah.
Do you want to go behind us?
Yeah, you want to come up here and we can just do it up here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's been so long since we've had
Yeah.
that capacity to do
Together.
that. Do you want us to scoot in, Paul?
Yeah, if you want to scoot in, you
Here we go.
okay, that's great. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you for being here.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you.
I did give Michelle a press release too that you can distribute to social media, newspapers.
Great,
We'll
thank
do
you.
it. Thanks.
Michelle, do you want to say anything?
You grab your. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. I wanted to thank the commission for their support of KMU. We have partnered, we've obviously been a KMU member for a number of years. We have been participated with the KMU safety program since June of 2014, whereby a KMU staff member would come out and help us with our safety program, safety meetings, conduct training, audits, and help us enhance our programs. And it's morphed over time. But I want to thank the commission for their support of safety for the organization. For city employees, I want to thank City Manager Richard Neinstedt for his support, all of our department directors, management staff, and employees. I mean, everyone has worked together to make our organization safe for our employees. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Michelle. You certainly pass the thank yous out to us, but it's because of you and, the other good employees that the city has that earns a prestigious award like this. So it's you guys deserve all the accolades. So thank you.
Thanks.
That will move us on to item 12.
Proclamation recognizing May 2022 as Community Action Month.
This proclamation recognizes the 50-plus year history of promoting self-sufficiency for those with limited income, and Teresia Templeton from ECAN will accept the proclamation, which will be read by our Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore.
The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas community action agencies were created when the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 was signed into law, and whereas the East Central Kansas Economic Opportunity Corporation, ECAN, was established in 1966, and whereas ECAN has a 50-year history of promoting self-sufficiency for the limited income, and whereas ECAN has made essential contributions to individuals and families in the city of Ottawa by providing them with innovative and cost-effective programs such as weatherization program, housing choice vouchers, Head Start, budgeting classes, and Stepping Stone program. And whereas community action agencies are needed as major participants in the reform of the welfare system as we know it. And whereas individuals and families on limited income continue to need opportunities to improve their lives and their living conditions, thus ensuring that all citizens are able to live in dignity. And whereas the poverty rate in the city of Ottawa is 14.9%, and whereas Kansas and the entire United States must continue to wage war on poverty by providing support and opportunities for all citizens in need of assistance. And whereas the city of Ottawa and ECAN have worked together to meet the needs of our most vulnerable citizens. And therefore, we, the governing body of the city of Ottawa, Kansas, does hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 to be Community Action Month in the city of Ottawa, Kansas, in recognition of the hard work and dedication of Kansas community action agencies. Signed this 4th day of May 2022 by our mayor, Eric Crowley.
Thank you. Teresa, you want to come on up? I'll meet you down there. We'll make it easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to say a few things?
Sure. Thank you for having me this evening. And I'd just like to say it is a privilege to partner with the City of Ottawa. We are doing some great things. I come to the library twice a month for an outreach, trying to reach our homeless community. As you all know, we are having quite a bit of homeless community in the City of Ottawa, and we are trying to work with our homeless. We have about 10 to 20 families in motels right now, some with little 3-month-old babies. So we are working with our homeless community to see how we can touch those. And we are so glad to work with Mr. Neinstead and the City of Ottawa and all of you in helping in this endeavor.
Thank you, Teresa. We thank you, and we thank ECAN for what they do for the city of Ottawa. So thank you very much. That'll move us on to item 13.
Proclamation recognizing May 11th through 17th, 2022 as Police Week.
Established in 1962 by President John F. Kennedy in a joint resolution of Congress, National Police Week pays a special tribute to those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. Chief Adam Weingartner and Ottawa Police Department staff will accept the proclamation, and it will be read by Commissioner Clayton.
The proclamation reads, whereas there are more than 800,000 law enforcement officers serving in communities across the United States, about 12% are women, including the dedicated members of the Ottawa Police Department. And whereas 58,000 law enforcement officers are assaulted each year, resulting in 17,500 injuries. And whereas, since the first recorded death in 1791, over 23,000 law enforcement officers in the United States have made the ultimate sacrifice and died in the line of duty, including Captain Robert C. Cowden of the Ottawa Police Department, who died in 1963. And whereas the names of those dedicated public servants are engraved on the walls of the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas 619 new names of fallen heroes are being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial this spring, including 472 officers who died in the line of duty in 2021, including 319 from COVID-19 related deaths. Whereas the service and sacrifice of all officers killed in the line of duty will be honored during the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund's Candlelight Vigil on the evening of May 13th, 2022 in Washington, D.C., and on the evening of May 5th, 2022 at the State of Kansas Law Enforcement Memorial in Topeka, Kansas. And whereas the Candlelight Vigil is part of National Police Week, which takes place this year on May 11th through 17th, 2022. Therefore, be it resolved that the City Commission formally designates May 11th through 17th, 2022 as Police Week. And the City of Ottawa, Kansas, and publicly salutes the service of law enforcement officers in our community and in communities across the nation. Signed this 4th day of May 2022 by Mayor Eric Crowley.
Thank you. Please, Chief, you want to come on up? I am a little concerned, though, that everybody's here. Is there anybody actually out there, keeping us safe?
Watching the jail.
You're always safe. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners, for taking time to recognize the Ottawa Police Department, our staff, and certainly officers, law enforcement officers that serve communities across this great country. Captain Cowden was a long-tenured employee of the Ottawa Police Department who responded to assist the Garnett Police Department to quell riots. And at the conclusion of that, suffered a fatal heart attack and died in the line of duty. And as you can see from the statistics listed in the proclamation, medical-related deaths are a significant part of losing officers. That's why wellness, both mental and physical wellness, is important along the career and tenure of an officer. We want them healthy, we want them working, and we need them here. One number jumped out on this, and it's not the death. Unfortunately, in our line of work, we know that a fatal consequence can happen regardless of the day of the week, time of the day, and the size of the community that you serve in. But between last year and this year's proclamation, there are over 100,000 less police officers serving communities across this country. We're fortunate here where that's not the case. Because of your great support, because of the support of the city manager, all of the other city departments, our community and our community members, and definitely the officers with us here tonight and their families. We're blessed to not have less officers. We actually have more. And we hope that trend just stays and continues so that we can continue to provide the best level of service that we can to make Ottawa a great, safe place. I am a very blessed and lucky police chief. These folks here make my job fun to come to every single day. I get to work with a great group of individuals, both sworn and the professional staff, and I just enjoy my job so much because of them. And I hope someday they're given the great opportunity to have that chance, should they take it, to be standing here before you today and say similar words to you. So on behalf of all the officers in the Ottawa Police Department and our professional staff, thank you for recognizing National Police Week.
Thank you, Chief. Hey, do you want everybody to come up here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll get a good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably more nervous doing this than going out and handling calls, so they want to get this done so they can go out.
We'll even give them seats. Come on, who wants to be mayor? Come on.
Come on. Get up there and sit in the mayor's seat. You can do it. Get up there and sit in the mayor's seat.
There you go. You got anything to say? Mike's here. You got 3 seats. Come on.
Sit down, love.
I don't sit. Jordan, sit down right there.
Mike is soft.
Come on.
Eric, sit.
Get down. We need 2 more.
Hey, go down there, Jake.
Scoot on in.
Scoot down there.
These are very comfy seats.
That's all right.
Hey, Chief, we need some of these. Your dad actually sat down there.
Stand on the trash.
Well,
Disappearing.
Mike's there.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
Comfy seats.
You sure you don't have anything to say? I'll let you say it. All right. Great work. Good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Name dropped. That'll move us on to item 14.
Request for approval of automatic aid agreement for vehicle extrication within Franklin County.
This agreement between the City of Ottawa and Franklin County will allow Ottawa Fire to automatically respond to calls for vehicle extrication outside Ottawa city limits to assist rural fire departments. Extrication is a low-frequency call within Franklin County, and once extrication is complete, Ottawa Fire units would be released from the scene. Chief Matthias, how are you this evening?
Doing well. Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, we've looked at this a couple times, and I'll just summarize it. So we've worked hand in hand with Franklin County EMS to come up with this document. So we are automatically dispatched to injury accidents with entrapment. So we have injury accidents throughout the county and the city, but most of them aren't. Most of them don't deal with entrapment. So the entrapments are roughly 5 to 8 a year, and that includes in the city. So when we do have an entrapment, of course, time is of the essence, and us getting out the door just a few minutes sooner on this automatic aid agreement can be beneficial throughout not just the city of Ottawa, but the entire county. Yes, we will be taking city resources out into the county, but most of the time, some of the time, those people out there that are injured are city employees. So not employees, but citizens of Ottawa. So, they give us help. The 8 volunteer fire departments that are out in the county, they come in, help us when we need it. So, I think it's a win-win for everyone in the county. So,
Commissioners, any questions for Chief Mathias? How would you like to proceed?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we approve the request for automatic aid agreement for vehicle extrication within Franklin County.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, can I have a roll call vote, please?
How do you vote, Commissioner Graves?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaler?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
And Mayor Crowley?
And I vote yes, too. Motion is approved. Chief, I always love seeing items like this on our agenda because to me, these are no-brainers. They're easy decisions, at least for me, because of what, it's necessary. We always talk about helping, everybody else out, and these are in times of absolute need, so easy decision, for sure.
well, thank you for your time and your thoughts on this. And we'll do the best we can. So
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
We know you will. That'll move us on to item 15.
Request for approval of resolution of intent to finance certain vehicles with the issuance of federally tax-exempt debt.
The resolution includes the purchase of 2 vehicles for the police department totaling an actual purchase amount of $106,915.60. And our finance director, Ms. Landis. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thanks for having me. We just discussed this on Monday evening study session, and you all decided to go ahead and move it to this evening's agenda. One question at the time was the resolution ready for final review? Was it finalized and reviewed by our city attorney? And it has been reviewed. So what you should have had emailed out to you is the final version. There were no substantial changes. So this is in relation to 2 planned for and purchased police units. Both vehicles have been received, and both of them were planned as part of our vehicle and equipment replacement program for 2022, but intended to be lease purchased. Or paid for through lease purchase financing. And so in order to do that at a later date, and so we can include other vehicles that were also included in our plan, we need to adopt a resolution with the intent to basically reimburse ourselves with those future funds from that financing. And so that is what the resolution is for, that's in front of you. The 2 police vehicles are replacements, or replacements for 2 that are in our current rolling stock for the police department. Those 2 will be moved on to other places within the department, and eventually those 2 might be rolled out to be sold at a later date. The actual amount of purchase is for $106,915.60. The resolution does include a not to exceed amount of $107,000. That's important for this process later down the road when we get to adopting the actual lease financing or the lease purchase financing. Our recommendation would be that you consider approval of this resolution as presented.
Commissioners, any questions for Ms. Landis?
I'm just curious, how do we decide where to purchase these? Do we have one source or several sources to seek out the purchase of these police cars? I don't know.
Would you mind if I asked
Adam?
Chief to?
Yeah.
Currently, we work with a vendor that receives the law enforcement models at state contract price, and that's what we did. Luckily for us, this particular vendor that we use had over 20 police vehicles in stock on the ground in Kansas waiting to be purchased, which is uncommon compared to some other vehicles that are trying to be purchased throughout the states. We're very fortunate that we're able to get these 2, but this particular vendor does meet state contract price that the state of Kansas decides for law enforcement vehicles.
That's my next question, is about the inventory. I'm surprised we were able to, I know that with the tight inventory all over the country, it seems like, on vehicles, I'm glad we were able to have some quickly to be able to obtain. So, yeah, good work. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And Lieutenant Casey Crane is the one who kind of developed that relationship with our vendor and worked really hard to make sure that we could still continue to get those 2 cars. So
Great.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Commissioners, any other questions?
I'll make the motion, we approve item 15 on our agenda.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, can I have a roll call vote, please?
How do you vote, Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore?
Yes.
Commissioner Graves?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaler?
Yes.
And Mayor Crowley?
I vote yes, too. Motion is approved. Thank you, Ms. Lance.
Thank you.
That'll move us on to item 16, which is our comments by our city manager.
I do not have any,
All
Commissioners.
right. That'll move us on to comments by city commissioners. Commissioner Graves.
I just have a quick one in honor of Police Week. I would like to thank them for their service and also giving me a little bit of cardio when I parked in a place that I shouldn't have, and I saw some lights outside my window and took off running out there. So thank you for that, and I appreciate what you do.
Well, at least you weren't running from them.
Yes.
That never turns out good.
Commissioner Kaler.
Just a couple notes. I wanted to comment on the KMU Safe City Award of Excellence. This safety designation does not just happen. It's purposeful and it's tremendously important. Much like our police officers, we want every single employee who works for the City of Ottawa to go home at night to whomever they love and whoever loves them. And so know that it is important to us that we are a safe city. We appreciate the Safe City Award of Excellence, but more importantly, we appreciate our employees and what they do to make sure that they keep themselves safe and they keep their fellow employees safe. So it's a tremendous honor to earn this award, and it really took a concerted effort. And lastly, for a Police Week designation, and I was looking feverishly to try and figure out if this was the 11th or 12th time that I've been a part of this designation, and every single time it means, I think, just a little bit more to me. 619 new law enforcement officers, 472 of them that were gone last year. That is entirely 619 too many. As I had said before, with our employees who serve with KMU and serve as a part of an extension of KMU, it is, every single one of those individuals, those 472 individuals, is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, possibly somebody's dad or mother, and somebody's really important person to them. And they gave everything they had to serve our community. So I appreciate it. I appreciate every single one of our law enforcement officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Clayton.
I as well would like to kind of mirror the Police Week. Police Week's a really special week for me, having attended the Candlelight Vigil in Washington, D.C. in 2011. It's an extremely moving event, definitely emotional, and to see, like you said, the number of people. Being from Ottawa, in a smaller community, we sometimes don't have the full breadth of how many law enforcement officers each year, are injured or how many fatalities there are. So it was really eye-opening for me, and like you said, it's a really special week for me, so I like being able to read that proclamation and just support one of them in Ottawa.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Skidmore.
Well, I just heard on the news tonight that we in this country experienced our millionth death of COVID, and it just made me think how, we don't really know what we're made of until we're in the middle of a crisis, and I really appreciate the way this community came together. I thank Dr. Ransom for taking the lead on this thing and informing us and educating us on this, how to deal with it. The Franklin County as a whole, performing all the vaccines and the testing. There just so many people came together untrained. We haven't had one of these for, it's been 100 years. And so it's one of those things that we just appreciate so much, people coming together, mitigating this as much as possible. And we're sorry for so many deaths in our community, but it could have been much worse, I feel, without the concerted effort of everybody working together. So I just want to bring that up, and hopefully it's in our rearview mirror and we'll be fine from here on.
Thank you. That moves us on to comments by the mayor, and I don't think I can add anything to what's been said. All of you said, some pretty moving things and useful knowledge, things that meant a lot for sure. So I can't add anything to that. So that'll move us on to the announcements. We have our study session at 4 p.m. here at City Hall, May 9th. We have another study session at May 16th here at 4 p.m. Our regular meeting, May 18th at 10 a.m. here. And May 18th, we also have a joint meeting Okay, it's been canceled. Breaking news. Is there anything else to